Okay, so welcome to our class of cytokines. So we'll just go to the slideshow. Okay, so today's class we will be discussing about the cytokines. Hmm? So first of all, let us know that what are cytokines. So cytokines are the proteins secreted by the innate immune system in response to microbes and antigens. Okay, so the cytokines they are just like hormones, which are secreted by different types of immune cells. Okay, so they are mainly secreted by the innate immune cells like macrophages, then this T helper cells and all. Okay. So now these cytokines, okay, they act in the two phases. So there are two phases in which they act. The first phase is called activation phase. So in this phase, they stimulate growth and differentiation of lymphocytes. That means what happens? Say this is a cell. Okay, it is a, say it is a kind of B cell. Okay, so now what happens? This particular B cell, it used to have the antibody on its uh, surface. Used to have the antibody on its surface. Now what happens? Once the antibody it binds an antigen, then this B cell it gets activated, and upon activation, okay, this B cell it differentiates into different cell types. So what was our statement is that the first statement is growth and differentiation of lymphocytes. So now this particular lymphocyte, before its antibody combines with antigen, it is an immature B cell. It is an immature B cell. This is immature. Okay. Now, when it is bound by an antigen binds this B cell. So, what happens immediately? This B cell it becomes activated. So, B cell becomes activated. Upon activation, this B cell now it will proliferate into mature B cells. So proliferation means you know that I think if you have studied about this immunology, after activation, this B cell it differentiates into two types of cell. So one type of cell it is called memory B cells, and second type of cell it is called plasma cells. Okay, so the memory B cells, so it used to have the antibody on its surface. Okay, and the plasma cell do not have antibody on their surface. Rather, what they do, they secrete the antibody. So they secrete the antibody to the blood or to the serum. So this is called secretory antibody, and this is called membrane bound antibody. Okay, so now this differentiation of the B cell into memory cell and plasma cell, it is helped by different types of cytokines. So generally what happens, like how this upon the antigen binding this B cells, they get activated. How they get activated, this activation is also helped by cytokines. So as the statement says, in the activation phase it stimulates growth and differentiation of the lymphocytes. Growth means maturation. So once the antigen binds the antibody, okay, then under the influence of cytokines, this B cell it matures, okay, and then again under the influence of some other cytokines, this B cell it proliferates and differentiates into two types of cell: memory B cell and plasma cells. Okay, so that is helped by the cytokines. Then the second phase is the effector phase. So effector phase means in this case it will activate the effector cells. Effector cells like say mast cells or macrophages, okay, to eliminate the microbe. So generally what happens, if we just go back, say for example, so this is a kind of antigen. Okay, now this antigen is bound by an antibody, is bound by an antibody. Okay, so you know that in case of antibody, say this portion of the antibody, it is called FAB portion, and this portion of the antibody, it is called FC portion. Okay, now what happens after the antibody binds the antigen? Now this antigen antibody complex, this will bind to the effector cells. It may be a macrophage, it may be a mast cell, whatever it is. So what happens, this will go and bind the effector cell. So effector cells, what they have on their surface, they have got certain receptors. So certain receptors are there on their surface. So these receptors, are present on their surface. Sorry. So these receptors, what they will do, they will bind the these receptors. They will bind the antigen antibody complex. So how they are going to bind? So in this case, this receptor will bind the FC portion of the antibody. So it will bind the FC portion of the antibody only when the antibody is bound to the antigen. It will never bind the free antibody. Sorry. You have the free antibody. So free antibody also has the FC portion, but this will not bind the FC portion of the free antibody. It will bind the FC portion only the antibody which is bound to the antigen. Okay. Then what happens? This particular effector cell, what it will do? It will engulf this complex. All of this complex, it will go inside. So this complex will go inside. Okay. Now this complex that goes inside, generally it used to be bound inside a endosome. Okay, and then this endosome fuses with the lysosome, and this microbe is destroyed over there. Okay, so this is the normal mechanism. This is how it removes the microbe. Now, if we start from the beginning, so this binding of the antigen antibody complex to the effector cell through the FC receptors present on their surface, and entry of this antigen antibody complex inside the cell. Okay, it is helped by cytokines. So cytokine has got, they work in two phases. So one is the activation phase, okay, which stimulates the growth and differentiation of the lymphocyte. Okay, and the effector phase, in this case, it activates the effector cells to eliminate the microbes. So how it will eliminate the microbe? It will engulf the microbe, okay, or it will release some kind of the cytotoxic cytokines, okay, that will kill the microbe. Okay, so earlier the cytokines, they were called as lymphokines and monokines. So the lymphokines from lymphocyte and monokines from monocytes. But nowadays it has been found that majority of the cytokines, they are produced by more than one type of cell. So these two terms are no longer used nowadays. So nowadays simply the term that is used is the cytokine. So interleukin also, this is a term that was used earlier. So these are the cytokines made by one leukocyte and acting on the other leukocyte. That means interleukin means what? Interleukins. So the cytokine produced by one leukocyte acting on the other leukocyte. So that is called interleukin. Okay. But nowadays this interleukin word, it is used for certain types of cytokines. Okay. So that is only for the historical purpose, because nowadays it has been found that there are many cytokines, they act like interleukins. So like IL-1, IL-2, IL-3, okay. So these are interleukins, but many of them, okay, they act on themselves also. That means they have the autocrine activity also. So that's why the the term IL is a misnomer. It has been used for the historical reasons. Now let us discuss about the general properties of the cytokines. So the cytokine secretion is a self-limiting event. Okay, that means the cytokine, when it is produced only for a brief period. That means what I mean to say is that these cytokines, they are not they do not remain in the cell in a preformed form. Okay, say for example, in case of bile, the bile is produced in the liver and then it is kept temporarily in the gallbladder for a short period, then it is released. But cytokines are not like that. It is not that cytokines are already produced and they are present in the preformed stage, preformed molecule, and then when it is required, they are released. It is not like that. So cytokines are produced only when they are required. So when the cytokines are required for a particular response, okay, then immediately the genes responsible for these cytokines, they will be transcribed to RNA. This RNA will go to ribosome to produce the protein. So protein is your cytokine. That means the this production of the cytokines, okay, will occur only when in the event when it is required. Otherwise, it will not be produced. Okay. After production of the cytokines, immediately they are secreted. Okay, they are not stored inside any cell. Okay, then they are self-limiting event. So self-limiting means once their work is over, immediately these cytokines, they undergo degradation. Okay, apart from that, the mRNA that produces the cytokine, this mRNA after protein synthesis, immediately they get destroyed. Okay, we have seen that in other cases, the from your gene you get the mRNA. mRNA goes to ribosome to make the protein. Okay, then this mRNA is not degraded. This can again, after making one protein, it can enter into another ribosome to make the second protein. But in the case of cytokines, it is not like that. Cytokine, the one mRNA will produce only one protein. Okay, it will go to the ribosome. Okay, it will make the protein. After making the protein, this mRNA will degrade immediately. Okay, so and even the protein, that is a cytokine, after its event is over, once its function is over, immediately the cytokine, they undergo proteolysis. So proteolysis means we use one word here, that is proteolysis. So proteolysis means in this case, the in the protein we use two types of term. One is called proteolysis, one is called protein denaturation. These two have got different meanings. So denaturation means you have the protein having a secondary structures, beta sheet, alpha helix, and all. When it is denatured, to and the protein gets opened, it is called denaturation. The proteolysis means you break the protein in such a way that proteins are broken down into respective amino acids. If a protein is made up of 100 amino acids, then all the 100 amino acids, they get separated from each other. That is called proteolysis. So proteolysis ensures complete destruction of the protein. Now denaturation, what happens if you denature a protein, it will lose its activity. But this protein after denaturation again, the protein can renature. Okay, but the proteolysis, this will ensure that your proteins are completely destroyed because you have even broken the protein into amino acids. That is called proteolysis. So the cytokines, they undergo proteolysis after their function is over. Okay, then the second property, the actions of the cytokines are often pleiotropic and redundant. So pleiotropic means in the genetics, pleiotropic means one gene having one gene having many activity. Okay, that is called pleiotropic. Now in this case, pleiotropic means one cytokine acting on different cell type. That is called pleiotropism. So many of the cytokines, okay, they can act on many different cell types. So they are pleiotropic. And what is meant by redundancy? So redundancy means So in this, so redundancy means many cytokines, they have got similar activity. That means there are some cytokines, okay, they are different cytokines, but their activities are same. Okay, their functions are same. So this kind of cytokines, they are called redundant cytokines. That means having the similar activities. Then cytokine often influence the synthesis and action of other cytokines. So this majority of the cytokines, they act in cascade. Cascade means something like this. Say you have, let us let me draw. Say this is one cytokine, okay, is activated. Upon activation, this cytokine, it will activate another cytokine. Now this cytokine, upon activation, again further it will activate the third cytokine. Okay, and suppose the third cytokine will actually show the effect. That means the actual effect is shown by the third cytokine. Okay, so this is, you can say, this is the first cytokine, this is the second cytokine, and this is the third cytokine. Okay, so this kind of activity of the cytokines, so it is called cascade effect. So cascade effect is the effect where one cytokine activates another cytokine, then another cytokine will further activate another cytokine. Okay, then after some time, after many steps only, the last cytokine will actually show the effect. Okay, so this is called this is called cascade effect or cascade of action. Action of cytokine. Okay. Now regarding then another thing, the cytokine often influence the synthesis and actions of other cytokines. Okay. Now the effect that you get over here, the effect is of three types. Cytokines, they give three types of effect. So one type of effect, it is called additive effect. So additive effect means already one cytokine has shown some activity. So that activity will be enhanced by the second cytokine. That is called additive effect. Then the second is subtractive effect. That means in this case, say one cytokine has whatever it has done, so this cytokine will do the reverse. So as a whole, the effect will be subtractive. Okay. Then the last one is synergistic effect. What is synergistic effect? It means the it is a kind of additive effect. That means it is something like this. Suppose one cytokine has given the effect of 2 units. Suppose 2 units. Okay. Then the second cytokine has given the effect of 3 units. In that way, as a whole, we should get the effect of 5 units. Okay, but it will be more than 5. Say it will be 8. So this is called synergistic effect. That means now in case of additive effect, it will be like this. Supposing that one cell has given the effect of 3 units, another has given the effect of 5 units, or say 4 units, then the total effect will be 7 units. Okay, so here I'm talking about units. Actually there is no unit as such. Okay, just for the understanding I'm using the word units. Okay, so additive effect means this will add. Okay, subtractive means this will decrease the effect. Okay, say one cytokine is causing proliferation, another will decrease the proliferation. Now synergistic effect means if these two, if one is giving the proliferation, another also gives the proliferation of similar amount, but when they are combined, okay, so combined effect is more than their individual effects. Okay, so that is called synergistic effect. Okay, so this three type of effect we find over here. Then cytokine action may be local or systemic. Okay, now whether it is local or systemic, it depends upon the amount of the cytokine produced. Okay, so how much cytokines are produced, that determines whether it will be having the local effect or it will be having the endocrine effect. That means it will be having systemic effect. So something like this, if I make it this way. So if it is small amount is produced, okay, or when large amounts are produced. Okay. Now in this case, what will happen when you have a small amount? So the effect will be, either paracrine or autocrine. So paracrine means when it is produced in a cell type and then it shows its effect only in the cells present nearby. That is called paracrine. Okay, autocrine means the cell that produced the cytokine will act on that cell itself. Say for example, if I draw it in this way, this is one cell and these are different neighboring cell. Now this particular cell, it produces the cytokine. Okay, it produces the cytokine. Now this cytokine, okay, if it shows the activity to these neighboring cells, then it will be paracrine. On the other hand, if it produces a cytokine, that shows its effect in the same cell, this is called autocrine. So when the cytokine is produced in the small amount, so it will be showing either paracrine or autocrine effect. On the other hand, when it is produced in large amount, so it will show the endocrine effect. That means it will show its effect away from the place where it had originated or where it was produced. So so in that case, the cytokine will be produced in the large amount by a particular cell, and then it will go to the blood, and through blood it will go to the distant tissue or cell to show its activity. That's what is the, so whether it is endocrine or paracrine, it depends upon amount. Okay. Then next is the cytokine initiate response binding to a specific receptor on the target cell. So just like the insulin hormone, the every immune cells, okay, on their surface they have kind of receptor. So receptors are there on their cell membrane. Now what happens? The cytokine, okay, will go and bind to these receptors. will go and bind to the receptor of the target cell. When it binds the receptor, then what happens? This will stimulate a cascade of reaction. Okay. Now this cascade of reaction, okay, this will stimulate because inside the nucleus you have the DNA having some genes, so it will stimulate specific genes to produce the RNA. Now this RNA will come out of the nucleus, it will go to the ribosome, okay, and then this will produce the protein. So this protein may be some enzyme. This enzyme will alter the physiology of the cell. Okay. Supposing that this particular cytokine it causes proliferation of the cell. So in that case, this will stimulate those genes responsible for proliferation of the cells. Okay. Supposing that it is a cytokine that inhibits proliferation. So this cascade of reaction it will stimulate those genes that inhibits the proliferation of the cell. Okay, so that means they will act through the receptors, just like insulin. Insulin receptors are present on the surface of the membrane. Same way, these cytokines also they act like that. Now, regarding the affinity of these receptors, so it is said that these receptors their affinity is 10 is to power minus 10 to 10 is to power minus 12. So I'm putting this particular sign to indicate that it is the 10 raised to power minus 10 and 10 raised to power minus 12. Okay, so that means these cytokines they have got very high affinity towards their receptor. Now, what do you mean by this term? This is called dissociation constant. Okay, and opposite of this we use one term that is called Ka. Ka is
Constant.
association constant. Okay, so association constant is just reverse of the dissociation constant. So how do we understand that? Say for example, this is suppose C. C stands for cytokine plus receptor. Okay, receptor of a cell, and then you will be getting CR. So CR is the when the cytokine binds the receptor, that is the CR. Okay. Now what is the KD here? KD is equal to, it will be concentration of so this is this square bracket indicates the concentration. So this is concentration of free cytokine. Okay, then into concentration of, we put some gap, into concentration of free receptor to which the cytokine did not bind. Okay, divided by okay, fine. Now you see what it indicates is that the KD value will be less when CR is high because CR is denominator. Okay, So now what we understand is that when you have high value of the CR, that means if you have high concentration of CR, this indicates that the cytokine has got high affinity for receptor. Okay. On the other hand, if you have high values of this free cytokine and free this receptor, this means that many of the cytokines did not bind the receptor. So this means that cytokine has got less affinity towards receptor. Okay, fine. So now, as it says, this value, okay, this is equal to 10 raised to power minus 10 to 10 raised to power minus 12. What does it mean? Okay, this if you see, it means 1 divided by 10 raised to power 10 or 12. This means that one molecule, when we added receptor and the cytokines together, so only one molecule of cytokine and one molecule of receptor did not bind. Rest 10 raised to power 10 numbers they bound. Okay, so this value, lower is the value, higher is the affinity for the uh, between the compounds. Okay, so here we are not talking about compounds, so these are proteins only. Okay, so this means that the cytokines, let me remove this. So cytokines, okay, their KD value ranges from 10 power minus 10 to 10 power minus 12. Okay, so this means the affinity of cytokines to the receptors are very high. That means small amount of cytokines, okay, can show their effect. When you have very low KD value, this means the cytokine has got high affinity for the receptor. When you have the high affinity, this means that small amount of cytokine is sufficient to show its activity. Okay, if you have very high KD value, this means that the affinity is less. So if you have less affinity, then in that case you will have to use more amount of compound to achieve a particular function or to achieve a particular effect. In this case, KD value is very low. This means small amount of cytokine will is sufficient to show the desired effect. Am I clear?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay, fine. Let's go. Let's go ahead. Then the external signals, they regulate the expression of cytokine. Okay. Now, what are the external signals? So, okay, let us go back to our. Now, what happens? This is the lymphocyte, and the lymphocyte, you have the immunoglobulin bound to its membrane. So, when this immunoglobulin, it binds an antigen. When it binds an antigen, okay. So, what happens after binding the antigen? This lymphocyte, how it becomes active? So upon binding the antigen, okay, so what happens? This lymphocyte, it starts producing more number of receptors. So immediately what it will do, it will start producing, let me draw it here. So this is the receptor for the cytokine. So once it receives the antigen, immediately the lymphocyte will start producing more amount of receptors. So the receptors it had will be more. Okay. So when you have more receptors, what will happen? This kind of lymphocyte, okay, it can be bound by more amount of cytokines. So cytokines, so let's say this is a star is a cytokine. So cytokine, now more amount of cytokine will be able to bind these receptors. Okay. So as a result, what will happen when you have more and more number of cytokines binding the lymphocyte? So this lymphocyte will be activated soon. That means the effect of the cytokine also, amount of effect of cytokines also depends how much amount of cytokine is binding the this target cell. In this case, this target cell, upon once it receives the antigen, so it will express more amount of receptors. On the other hand, so this is another lymphocyte. Okay, so this lymphocyte also has the antibody on its surface. Now this lymphocyte, the antibody is free antibody. It is not binding any antigen. Okay, since it is a free antibody, the antibody, this particular antibody, the antigen is not available. So in that case, this kind of lymphocyte does not have the receptor for the cytokine. So it is immature, so it will remain immature. Now this lymphocyte will mature only because after receiving the antigen, it has increased the amount of the receptor on its surface. So more amount of cytokines will go and bind the lymphocyte, and the lymphocyte will be activated by these cytokines. Now to this lymphocyte, the cytokines cannot act because there is no receptor. It will develop receptor only when it will it is only when it will it receives the antigen. Am I clear?
Yes, sir. Correct.
Okay. So that means what happens after receiving the antigen, the responsiveness to the cytokine of the cell increases. So it increases because increase in the number of the receptors. Okay. And this the lymphocyte, which antibody is free, no antigen, so it has got less number of receptors, so it is very much less responsive to the cytokines. Okay. Then cellular responses to most cytokine consist of change in the gene expression in the target cell, resulting in expression of new functions. So this I have already mentioned. So that means how the target cell uh, shows the effect of the cytokine. So the cytokine, they bind the receptor and then they initiate a cascade of reactions. Now, these reactions will affect or it will stimulate expression of certain genes. Okay, so these genes are responsible for proliferation of the cell, of the target cell. Okay, now the cellular responses to the cytokines are tightly regulated, and feedback inhibitory mechanism exists to turn down these responses. So now you see there are many we have already discussed that there are some cytokines, okay, their effects are subtractive. So one cytokine has bound the cell, okay, it is showing the effect, the cell is proliferating. Now you have to control the proliferation of the cell. What you will do, the system will stimulate another cytokine which inhibits the proliferation. That means these two cytokines, the first cytokine which causes proliferation, second cytokine will inhibit the proliferation. So that's how the system will control the proliferation, or it will control the effect of the cytokines. Okay, so how it will do, how the control will be accomplished? One way is that, let us go to for example, see the cell, okay, and So this is the receptor, and this receptor is bound by, say, this particular cytokine. Okay. Now, after binding this cytokine, now it has stimulated a cascade of reaction. Okay, and this will cause certain group of genes in the DNA to express. Okay. Now now the cell will proliferate. Now on the other hand, now system wants to stop the proliferation or it wants to control the proliferation. What it will do? So now this kind of cell, they also has some other receptors for other cytokine. So now let us assume that this is another receptor. Okay, so this particular receptor is here, and then it is bound by a second type of cytokine that has got inhibitory effect. Now, now this red color cytokine, how it will inhibit the reactions caused by the blue color cytokine? So one way is that this particular, after binding, this will start a cascade of reaction that will block this cascade of reaction initiated by the first cytokine. That is one way. Okay. Then second way is that this particular cytokine, it can destroy the receptor to which the first cytokine is bound. Okay, fine. And the third way is that this cytokine itself, this cytokine, okay, this will produce certain other compounds in the cell that will destroy this cytokine. These are the ways. So let us repeat this one. The first way how it accomplishes the this negative effect. The first is it can stop the chemical reaction stimulated by this reaction, this cytokine. Second way is that it can destroy or it can remove the receptor of the first cytokine. Okay. Third way is that it can destroy the, or it can stimulate the proteolysis of the this particular cytokine. Okay. So this is the way how it can cause the negative. So this is also called negative feedback effect. So if the red color cytokine is not there, what will happen? The cells will go on proliferating uncontrolled. This will be uncontrolled proliferation. To control the proliferation, okay, the cytokine having the reverse activity will be stimulated. Okay? So there are three ways how it will control the effect of the first cytokine. First is the second cytokine, it will block the reaction. So the first, you have a receptor to which the cytokine binds, then you have the cascade of reaction. First is block this reaction. Okay. So second cytokine will block this reaction. Second way is that this can block the receptor. Receptor is not there, that means cytokine also will be over. Third way is that this will, receptor is there, reaction is also there, but it will attack the cytokine itself. So cytokine which is bound to the receptor, this will undergo proteolysis. Okay. So the effect is over. Okay. So do you have any questions?
So this last one, which this